Hi everyone, and welcome to a little guide I'm putting together for pilots. In this video specifically, pilots who are kind of on the fence of what type of flight school that they'd like to enroll in. Now, based on whatever your goals are in aviation, do you want to just fly generally? Do you want to fly professionally, charter, whatever it may be? Hopefully this video will put you on the right path and give you the proper resources to make sure that you make the right choice. Because picking a flight school is one of the most important steps in your journey to being a pilot, whatever it may be. It can also determine many aspects of your life. And there's two types of schools that you can pick. There's Part 61, and then there's also Part 141. And depending on the type that you pick, it will, like I said, determine a lot of aspects of your life. So we'll start with Part 61, and then we'll move on to Part 141, and then just give you guys a brief overview of what you can expect in each of these schools. So starting off with Part 61. Part 61 is perfect for two types of people. People who aren't entirely sure that they want to do aviation, or people who just prefer to generally work at their own pace. You can usually find these schools at smaller local airports and are usually smaller scale businesses themselves. Students are normally given complete flexibility over their schedules and a ton of flexibility of the days and times that they would fly. However, this does come with a couple downsides because of that. Because of the less structured schedule and more freedom given to students is actually, surprisingly, would lead to them training less efficiently. And usually because they have more control over their schedule, it's not the ideal. It's more of what they prefer. So as a result of that, you will probably end up spending more money, just a case-by-case thing, and my personal experience with some Part 61 schools. However, it is a much more manageable course load. So if you don't want to get into aviation professionally as a career, and or if you do and just prefer to work at your own pace and want to sacrifice a little bit of time for that, I would call up a local Part 61 school and schedule a discovery flight. So that's pretty much everything an aspiring pilot should expect going into a Part 61 school. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. I'll try and link some good resources in the description that might provide a little bit more context. But if you're 100% sure aviation is the path that you want to go down, like you want to be an airline pilot, and you're willing to put in a little bit of extra work to save some time, I would, without a doubt, recommend Part 141 schools. So that will be what we will be talking about next. Part 141 is a great choice for quick learners who are willing to follow a set schedule, but it's a really big commitment. You will be studying constantly, and a lot of these programs will tell you this is your job now, just studying all the time and polishing yourself, because a lot of these programs they have the goal of getting you to the airlines, so they hold you to that standard throughout all parts of your training. These are usually large franchise businesses such as ATP Aviation, Blue Line Aviation, and any university that offers something along the lines of an aeronautical science degree. Those will also give you something called RATP, which will reduce your hour minimums as well. So it's just streamlining you, getting you to the airlines as quickly as possible, efficiently, but also making sure that the training quality is high. You won't have much time to do anything other than study. The curriculum is much more structured. But this kind of leads to some of the cons with the 141 system itself, is it's very unforgiving for many students, and usually it's an upfront financial commitment, meaning that you're going in debt for it. For students like me who don't have a lot of the upfront money to put towards it, you have to go through companies and stuff like that to pull a loan. So you really have to be sure that this is what you want to do. But if that is what you'd like to do, it's great. Or what will happen is somebody takes the financial commitment, right? But they're not ready for that kind of work, that kind of course load, and they can kick you out at these programs. It's just due to the extremely quick pace that the schools operate at. Everything is tailored to prepare students for the airlines. They don't really care about your schedule or your leniency. For example, if it's an extreme situation, like recently I was flying and had an eardrum injury, I ended up getting a couple days off for that because it's really hard to fly with a busted eardrum. So you can get time off in emergencies, but usually they're not gonna give you much. So that's everything to expect with the 141 schools, and that's the comparison. So a couple disclaimers before signing up for any flight school, really, look into them. Go online, read some reviews. If possible, a lot of schools will have their instructors listed like on the website with their email addresses. Contact the instructors, contact, previous students that you may know, and try and learn as much as you can, because the last thing you want to do is get into a flight school and make that financial contribution and then realize that, oh, this is not what I expected this to be. I will be linking some resources down below, some other videos that might help you guys get some more insight. I'll be making another video pretty soon on things to do before starting flight school, because that's a whole other thing in itself. But this was more so just to kind of get you guys thinking, like, what path do I want to take to achieve my goals in aviation? And yeah, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys.